Oh, oh. Fat in and top in. You might hit one consecutively after the other, and it feels like they're two completely opposites. One we completely missed that ground, one we completely hit that ground far too much. But what was the difference between those two swings? Before we start the lesson today, don't forget, hit that link below to my website to sign up to get on the waiting list for lessons with myself here at Whittleby Park Golf Club. And what was the difference between the two? Well, in reality, if you watch that back, there's nothing actually really that different to it. But it's just how well I time getting that golf club in. Why do I have to time it? Because my backswing wasn't quite where it should be. Now, here's the reason. The problem is what we tend to do, especially if we've just started to begin the game or if we're even a little bit experience in there, but still not quite as repeatable as we could be. What we end up trying to do on the backswing is try and get down to that golf ball straight away. And the problem is, if we get down to that golf ball straight away, there's only one way to go on the way down, and that's out of the way of it. Because otherwise, in our common sense mind, if we're down to the golf ball, if we're really squatting down to that golf ball straight away, we're going to catch a ton of ground. So what do we then try and do to stop that? We try and get up out of the way of it. And that's completely the wrong sequence of where we should be and the wrong chain of events that should happen in the golf swing. What should happen is that more of a gentle tilt and a rotation on the way back. So it's a turn and a tilt on the way back, not a big, huge squat on the way back. Because then when we turn and tilt our shoulders and our pelvis in particular has to rotate around, we're able to then get down into that golf ball without having to try and recover to get that club back in. And again, when we have to recover, what we end up doing is either catching no ground at all, or we throw that golf club further away and we just catch far too much ground because we're not able to rotate on the way through. And that all is led completely by our backswing. So in other words, if we nail our backswing, if we got our club in the right position, if we get our body in the right position on the way back, we're able to make sure we're turning and tilting, we're able to get that club, the probability goes higher that we can get that club to the ground where we should be, and as a result, that ball up in the air without feeling like we're putting an absolute shed load of effort into it. So make sure we want to turn and gently tilt down. So it's not a big squat down, wind up on the way back. It's just a turn and a gentle tilt on the way back, and then let that club hit the ground. It couldn't be any simpler. So try not to be tempted to squat down, just turn and tilt gently.